and invite them. I also send out an invitation to them via email. And then the closer we get to the event, I follow up by asking if they're attending, if I haven't received, responses for tickets or whatever. But it is very, very similar to what we do when we invite people to come to our events. Just getting that list, making the contacts, and staying diligent with that list, following up, and that's basically it.
All right, fantastic. So guys, it's no different than what you're probably used to doing anyway, as far as if you've ever invited to like a black tie gala. So what I would do if I were you is I would get, that notepad or that place that you'd make a list of names and make a list of 25 to 30 of the sharpest people that you know. Your attorneys, your doctors, your dentists, your business owners, your really, really super sharp climbing the corporate ladder in the shipyard cousin. People that have, that are, have succeeded to some level. It's not necessarily title specific, but people who have something going on for themselves and they appreciate a good business. This is a good idea and a black tie elegant event. This is the kind of, people that you want to invite. We do this once a year. I think this is First Lady's 14th or 13th annual black tie affair, but we want to make sure that you make that list. See, because she needs a RSVP actually this Friday, and because some of you guys did not get tickets on Monday for your guests, and the tickets look like, where'd I put my ticket? The tickets are actually very nice, and when you purchase your ticket saying that you're coming, then you get 5 free tickets for your guests. And this is what the tickets actually look like, guys. And so you get 5 free tickets for your guests. And then she just needs to know, because what happens is the lady that prepares the food, she wants to know that, she doesn't want to put out, it can hold 300 people. So we printed 300 guest tickets, right? So we know that if everybody bought their 5, if each person bought their 5, will go well over 500. But as partners, we don't mind standing up. But what we want to be able to do, guys, is we want to be able to make sure that we get her those numbers as quickly as possible, exactly how many guests you have coming. And so if you get 5 tickets, commit, make sure and you commit and get those 5, make sure you go out and diligently invite, and then put the ticket in their hand. Like, let them know, listen, I need to meet you. I remember with Sylvia, she was like, okay, we've got to have time to get together. We got to sit down. We got to get on the phone, whatever the case may be for the NAACP event. I was there, but you got to make sure you get these tickets. This is a physical ticket that they need when they get to the event. It's not just strolling in and saying, hey, Tracy invited me. It's literally having this ticket, guys. So this is going to be a big time event. I'm almost finished with the flyer. I've got to add the RSVP, the cost before, in advance, and her email address, and probably a phone number. So I got to figure out how to put that up there without, crowding up the flyer. But so this is the flyer. So if you will have some people that you want to invite, send it. These are the steps that I'm doing. Step 1, I text them the flyer. Well, first things first, when they get the flyer, they're going to be like, oh, this is very, very nice. It looks very, very ritzy, very elegant, right? And so when they get it, then I follow up with a phone call. Well, they got the flyer, so they're likely expect, when they see the number or the name come up that sent them the flyer, they're more likely to answer the call. And then what I'm letting them know, oh my God, I'm so glad I caught you. Oh my God, I'm so glad that I caught you. Was that RayShawn that just joined us? Is that RayShawn? Oh no, that's Renee. All right, as soon as RayShawn comes on, I definitely want to defer to her. But so let them know, listen, oh my God, I'm so glad I caught you. I only have a few tickets left. Listen, we're having a very elegant, very exclusive, and very private black tie travel Christmas gala on Friday, February 14th. I'm only inviting people that I really love and that are closest to me. And I definitely wanted to make sure that I got a ticket in your hand for you, you and your husband, or you and your spouse. Can you clear your calendar to join me at this very exquisite event on Friday? Make it a big deal. You know what I mean? And guys, we're trying to make it where we're not going to actually have a full presentation on that particular day. So, and I'm still trying to log in on Facebook, guys. I mean, on my computer because it was tripping earlier. But so we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna do a full presentation. We're gonna have a conversation about the membership. I think. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. So you're not inviting people to a meeting. You're inviting them to a very upscale, elegant, exquisite, exclusive, private, VIP invitation only. Guys, those are the words that you want to use inviting to this event. Because two things that's going to happen while you're promoting to the invite to this event. Number one is that you're going to get a whole lot of people, right? You're going to get a whole lot of people that show up that night. But the way we've got it set up is we want to help those people invite people to the 1:30 travel mixer the next day at the Hyatt. Guess what? Let's just say, for example, Andrea has 5 people at this particular event, right? So she has 5 people at this particular event, and 4 of those people bring 3 people the next day. Well, you know, all of that falls in her team builder group, right? So 12 people show up the next day on Monday, and then she ends up, you know, with 5 or 6 people signing up on that super. Remember, guys, Coach is doing that worldwide, the world's largest travel mixer. He's doing that on that Saturday. So working hard to invite to this event, doing travel mixes between now and then, what that's going to yield you guys is the opportunity to have a lot of people show up at your actual event. So I mean that Saturday. Now, the other thing that we're looking for that Saturday, guys, is we're looking for people who will be doing travel parties. I have committed that our team, the Icon Group, will do 15 travel parties that day. Not to mention the one that we're going to be at on the 15th. Now, let me pull up the flyer for you guys for that one. Let's see. So now we have, if you're going to be at the one at the Hyatt, that's great. Make sure we pack this out. If you're going to be like Pastor said, well, you know what? He's going to go to a young man that's about to join his team. They're going to do a travel party together. Well, I'm looking for people who want to do their own travel party. And even if you're coming to the travel party on this particular, on Saturday at 1:30, and again, guys, fantastic, Chantel. And I can, I can send you some templates too, girl. So we're definitely, guys, going to be, inviting people to be at the Hyatt at 1:30, not at 10 a.m. So remember, it's going to be different than normal. Don't invite your guests to see the presentation at 10 a.m. We will not be doing the presentation until Coach does it at 2 p.m. So you want to invite your guests. And guys, I really hope you're taking notes because this is so much information. But we want to invite people to join us, right? We want to invite people to join us at the at 1:30 at the actual. Oops, hold on. I'm sorry. All right, I finally got the computer up. Okay, great. All right, so you want to be inviting people to attend the, at 1:30 p.m. You don't want them to show up at 10 o'clock in the morning and they're brand new. Does that make sense? Because that's a waste of their time. The travel party at the Hyatt will start at 1:30 p.m. Now remember, and if you are going to be attending that particular event and you want to have your own travel party as well, let me know. I will stick your address on the flyer. You can get this out to your guest. And then you just leave the Hyatt maybe around 12:30 or 12 o'clock to go home to set up your own. So we're going to have this one, but you're not obligated to just this particular one. Does that make sense, guys? So I just lost my flyer, but that's okay. So on the 15th. All right, do I still have you guys? I'm just trying to, I don't know what just happened. Okay. So hopefully I still, okay. So let me see. I got 2 messages and they say, okay, great. All right, so that's going to be the, the combination of the 14th and the 15th family. As soon as both of those flyers are complete, I will get them into circulation for you guys to start inviting. So again, send them the link, and then call them, right? Call them and then invite them and let them know I only have a few tickets left, and I really wanted to make sure that you and your wife were able to attend. And then make sure you let First Lady know at this email address, OTASTNC, OTASTNC@gmail.com. I need you guys to RSVP to her for that Friday night, the 14th, 12/14. How many are going to be attending? Counting, so like if you were Sylvia and her friend plus 5 guests, then that's 7 people, because she's got to have a total head count. Does that make sense, guys? Now, you could say, I have my own table, because if you're going to go hard and invite, you can have your own table. And last year, Rebecca had like 8 or 9 people at her table, and several of them actually signed up that night. So if you want to have your own table, then let us know. Thank you, Charlize. Then let us know. Now, for people like Charlize, if you're out of town, but you've got people here, let me know, sweetheart. If you guys are not here, Chantel, Miss Everett, Charlize, but you want people to attend the event, then let us know so that we can take care of them as well. So those are the 2 of the biggest events coming up. Monday, we do have another travel mixer at the Hyatt. And then the following Monday, we have another travel mixer at the Hyatt. But we only have 2 more for 2019. And then it's all said and done. We've got 2 more for 2019. And then it's all said and done. So make sure you understand that. I'm going to look real quick, because if RayShawn is up here, I don't want to hold her. RayShawn, if you're on the line, if you could let me know, that would be great, but I don't see her just yet. And if she doesn't get on, I'll tell you what she's doing anyway. That's not a big deal, but I did want you guys to actually just hear from her. But, okay, so the next thing to talk about is winners win. So at winners win, guys, what's going to happen is this. We have, that is going to be February. You guys know that February 15th through 16th. I am having a team event on the 14th, but I may move it to the evening of the 15th or the evening of the 16th, just to make sure everybody's in town. We have a hotel that has given us an amazing rate. That particular amazing rate is going to include our transportation to and from the hotel, the JW Marriott. And the reason we're not booking there, guys, quite frankly, is because the room prices are $400, $500, and $600. We want to make sure we keep it economical for everybody. So we're going to rent a black limousine bus that's going to take us from place to place. And we'll actually have that. And so once we have the details, I'll get you the hotel. But we're going to have, of course, we've got the event on Friday, the recognition on Friday. I'm thinking we may go ahead and do our recognition and award ceremony on Friday night as well, since it ended early last time. Saturday is all day training by Dr. Coakley. Then we'll have a dinner night out event with each of us. And of course, I don't limit anything to just the icon group. So if you want to tie in, just let me know. And then guys, of course, we check out on Sunday. So I will give you the specifics, but we're talking about having a hotel at a very reasonable rate. We're talking about transportation to and from the hotel and to every event, even the dinner night out, even, you know, whatever we decide to do, we're going to have, you know, actual transportation. The hotel that we have has shuttle transportation from the airport, which is good. So I'm trying to keep all costs to an absolute minimum, and give you like one price that covers everything. It'll be covering your shuttle, it'll be covering your transportation, it'll be covering your room, any resort fees and incidentals, because I don't want you guys to get down there and be surprised with a bunch of stuff. Does that make sense? I'm doing that for you. So let's look at, let me see if I have RayShawn, and if not, we're gonna go ahead and set our site on some training. Okay, I don't see her, and she's at her meeting, and I actually, you know how I do, guys, I just asked her like 10 minutes before she went into her meeting, so she was gracious to want to be here, and if she chimes in, I'm gonna text her and have her let me know when she jumps on. And then we're gonna go ahead and jump into some training. All right, so let's see. Make sure I didn't get this message in the chat is not her. Okay. Okay, you messaged her and she did not respond. All right, stand by 1 second, guys. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Mom had ordered Chinese. Okay, so this is RayShawn now. Hey, sweetie. Hey. Oh, well, listen, if you signing up people, don't you worry about me. Girl, don't you worry about us. But yeah, if you're still wrapping up, keep doing your thing. If you can hop on and just put in the chat that you're on so I'll know. Okay, sweetie. All right, bye-bye. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, she out there killing it. So, you know, I ain't gonna mess up her flow. So here, let's just dive into some information, okay? Let's get my marker back up. Okay, so here we go. So a couple of the things that I want to do, first is I want to talk to you about, you know, making sure that we to hit those goals, and that's really why I wanted to get her on tonight. But we had a very extensive conversation today, guys, and I'll just relay to you what RayShawn said to me. But I want to talk to you about working hard to hit your goals. And in order to do that, I actually am going to surprise another icon champion, Miss Andrea Warren. And she probably felt it coming. She could probably feel me coming her way because we had an amazing conversation today as well. Miss Andrea.
Yes.
Hey, darling. So we talked earlier tonight, and we talked about the fact that you're making some things happen and you're feeling really charged about what's happening. Just family through your last 2 or 3 days. Talk to us.
Well, I don't know. As I told you, I feel like something has switched in me. Mm-hmm. So I've been really focused and grinding. And you always talk about making the list. And I have the list. So I started going through that list today. I left work early and came home. And the goal was 25 from, I guess when you gave me the goals, it was Tuesday through Thursday at midnight. And I ended up contacting 10 people and got 10 exposures. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. I have invited 2 people to Monday's meeting, and it just seems to be clicking. And I don't know what exactly has happened, but I'm going with it now.
Now, you told me in your routine, you are reading your affirmations, right?
I am. I'm reading my affirmations. I'm reading GoPro. I'm reading a couple of books now. I also, you sent a video, or someone had a video about meditating at night before going to sleep.
Miss
And I'm
Velma
doing
said
that too. Yeah.
that.
So all of that, I'm doing it all.
So, you know, and guys, it's a testament because she says, I don't know meditating. She says, I don't know what it is that's working, but I'm doing everything that has been asked of me to be done. So I've went back and I've made my list. And think about it, guys. She got 10, I don't know how many calls she made, but she got in touch with 10 people. And of those 10 people, she was able to share information for them to watch, you know, the presentation, 10 exposures in one day. See, it's not, guys, the thing that we've heard, and Andrea, this is what's happening for you, is that when you work harder on you, when you work harder on yourself, guys, the business becomes easy. The harder you work on you, the more you do your affirmations in the morning and before you go to bed, the more you read. You heard her say, she's not just reading the GoPro book, she's taken, right, Shabana? She's taken the liberty to now read 2 books. And before she goes to sleep, and I'll see if Velma can get that meditation link back out to the group. But before she goes to sleep, right? Shabana says she lives by it. Before she goes to sleep, she's bringing herself into a state where her subconscious can go to work for her overnight and start to bring to her that which she's putting out into the atmosphere. So family, that is just so powerful. See, because the thing is, the mechanics are amazing. How to make the phone call, how to do a presentation, how to, you know, invite, all of those things are amazing. But if we don't get this right here, the 6 inches between this ear and this ear, and this right here, right, so that our inner man, right, our inner man lines up with our outer man, nothing can happen. It's kind of like being in a rowboat and your soul is going this way, and your carnal man is going this way, and all you're doing is making what? A circle. But when you've got your activity moving this direction, like she does, and you've got, if she's not at work, she's at every presentation. You're going this, her activity is going this way. She's going this way with her phone call. She's going this way with her affirmation. She's going this way with her reading, and then her meditation. Guys, the sky is just the limit. The sky is just the limit, because who is Andrea focusing on? She's focusing on herself. Notice in this list of things, right? She's made a list and she's making invitations. But 3 of the things that she's doing has nothing to do with activity in the business. Affirmations in the morning and at night, reading not 1 book but 2, meditating and listening to positive, you know, information. So I sent her a goal out there on Tuesday, and by golly, she's gonna get it. Matter of fact, we had a 3-way tonight, right, Andrea?
Yes.
We had a 3-way tonight, and so we're excited. And then on Friday, we're meeting with the pastor for her at 11:30 a.m. and then at 3:30 p.m. We're gonna meet with another young lady for her. So guys, let's focus on doing those things. It's not just hocus pocus. When you're speaking it and you're saying it and you're talking in the mirror to yourself, and when you're reading and you're meditating and you're doing the work, stuff starts to pop. So y'all give it up in the chat for none other than Miss Andrea Warren. Thank you, Andrea. You know, they said to stay ready, right? Don't have to get ready.
Coach, I want to share. You told us on our list, don't overlook anyone. Mm-hmm. And I called someone today who I think a couple of weeks ago, I looked at her and I'm like, I don't know. But I called her today and she said to me, you know, I've seen you post stuff on Facebook and I've been wondering what you've been doing. So it was because I reached out to her, because I said to her, why didn't you reach out to me? And she was waiting for me. So people are watching what you're doing on Facebook. And a lot of times they are waiting for you to make that first move.
That is
towards
powerful.
them.
That is so powerful. You know, Andrea, that is so, people are looking. they are looking. They don't know if they can reach out to you, right? So Andrea, congratulations. See, we had a conversation, and I'm gonna go ahead and mute your line, Ms. RayShawn is here, but we had a conversation where I said, you know, Andrea, have you made the list? Because most of us guys, what we will make, right? We will make a list. And on that list, that first little list we build are the people we think need it, think would do it. You know what I mean? We judge who would, who won't, who could, who couldn't, who should, who shouldn't. We judge all of that. So I said, Andrea, I need you to go back for me though, and I need you to make the list. And the list is where you literally do what she just did. Remove all barriers from anybody you're going to talk to. Make sure that you are, you've made a list of everybody and not skipped anybody. Even you've heard me say, write your Facebook contacts down, right? Some of you say, well, I've got 300, 400, 1,000 people. Okay, that makes for a very nice looking list, because you just never know, guys. You just never know. If you, just because they're on your Facebook list, if they're not on paper, you're not going to really think about them. Your subconscious is not going to figure out how to direct you through and to them. So we want to make sure, guys, that we are doing the work. We are doing, Shirley said, remove the barriers and get out of your own way. Girl, you better preach. Shavonna says, go Andrea, surging your way right to the top. Absolutely. And then, guys, I've just got this message from this champion, none other than Miss RayShawn, National Builder Top 10, Punta Cana Robinson, right? And she is actually on her way to Trinidad. When I tell you guys, I have such a tremendous amount of respect for this young lady, because she does whatever it takes to get the information she needs to take back to her team to arm them to do whatever they need to do to succeed. She is not only a top income earner, she's closing out a $10,000 bonus. Y'all watch before the clock strikes, 12:01 a.m. Closing out this year, a $10,000 bonus for RayShawn. She's about to fly to Trinidad. She, guys, is about to fly to Trinidad to go down there and serve her team for an entire week. She's going to be in Trinidad for an entire week. So we're going to collaborate. And I'm looking for you, RayShawn. I don't see you. Oh, there you go. She's going to collaborate with me and our team down in Trinidad to do presentations down there. And check it out. Look how God works. She had already booked to be down there from the 12th to the 19th. And then coach comes and says, hey, we're going to do a worldwide travel party on the 15th. And guess where she's going to be? On the other side of the world. So see, that's how God works. But when you're moving and grooving, when you're working, when you're doing the activity, it's not luck. You know what? But they do say this, RayShawn, the harder I work, the luckier I get. Guys, please help me bring to the, to the front of our conference, a top producer, national builder. Are you wearing that jacket? You got the jacket on. Can you stand up and shout? Bam! She got the jacket on. Big girl, you looking good in that national bigger jacket. Charlie, oh, no, you didn't. No, you, See, you're wrong. You're wrong. Come on now, you popping it. You popping it. What's up, RayShawn Robinson? How you doing, baby?
Coach MDJP, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you, and you know how I am. I'm a student always, guys. Y'all got the best of the best right here. I'm learning from her, so don't even listen to what she's talking about me. She's the one I'm learning from. She's the one I'm growing and getting the information. If the people were still in here, they'll probably hear her presentation say, I heard her say some of that. I see and listen to that video so much that I caught myself saying everything you're doing. It's called about duplication. It's all about duplication. So Coach MDJP, and I say MD, if y'all don't know what that MD stand for, marketing director, because I'm calling what she is. That's what she is in my eyes, a marketing director. So with all that being said, I appreciate everything she does for me, for my team, in that video. Look, guys, I call it keep it simple. It's the KISS method. I put it out there, right? Because I got to be duplicatable. what I'm doing has to be duplicatable, not complicated, but duplicate. So what I do is make sure you sit with the person, sit with them. Don't just send them the video. Some of them say, can you send it to me? No, I want to meet with you, right? Make sure they understand you serious. So that's why I make sure I meet with them. Now, if they're across the U.S. somewhere, then okay, that's when I can't, right? But what I normally do is make sure that I'm able to sit with them and talk with them and be able to share this opportunity. That's right, KISS method. Thanks there, coach. Keep it simple, student, because we are always learning, always growing, right? And then you want to meet with them. Yes, meet with them. Schedule a time to meet. And hey, hour and a half. Because her video is an hour and 4 minutes. And I will say 36 seconds, but that's too much detail. But no, that video, it needs about an hour. And so, and I know she goes in at the very end. So you want to make sure they understand that the time you need is that. So the gentleman I met with today, and I shot her the invite on this one, was a gentleman from someone on my team. And we scheduled a time to meet today. And again, I pick a location that's conducive to both of us. And I sat with him. I do an intro. So you know what? Story sells, facts tell. You got to be able to know how to introduce yourself, give the facts about why you in search. But two, I always say listen to them, because guess what? In listening to them, they're going to tell you something about themselves and what they might need going in. So it's important to also listen to what they're telling you about themselves and getting to know them, because this is a relationship marketing. So you want to make sure you're listening to what they're telling you about themselves, their family, what it is they're doing now. And then you see if there's something of what Serves 365 has that we can then help them with that, right? So I listen to him, I do the intro, and then because I know I'm sharing her video, I also edify. So I let them know that I know this young lady who's out of Chesapeake and what she has done and accomplished in the amount of time that she has accomplished it. So I'm going to edify the person that's going to be hosting it, right? I even get so far as I go with the pictures. I start showing pictures of us together, right? So to make it real, because they like, do you really know her? I show a picture. Now, the one I'm going to show, the current one, is the one where I know she just got that ring. And it's me and her, and she holding that ring. So when y'all get to some of these places, take pictures with them, but then show your friends and family, because then they see that it's real. And they understand that you really do know these superstar, rock star people out here, and it's not just about you, right? So I do that. And then I press play. That's it. I press play, and I let it play, right? And at the end, she goes in. Oh, my gosh. So when she goes in, I'm just sitting next to him. Right? Now, before we get started, like I said, I always have them complete, because if they leave, travel survey. So as I set up, if I'm not set up already, or as I'm turning on everything, we're talking, I'm having them complete a survey. Why? Because I'm getting them in the mood of travel. That's what the survey does in number 6, destinations. It's talking about your top 3. Guess what I'm going to know about them if they complete it as the video is over? Their top 3 destinations. We might have a conversation about that. So if they love to travel, Cancun, Hawaii, South Africa, guess what I'm going to talk about? Cancun. Oh my gosh, we went there last year. Guess what? I'm going to show them pictures of that. I can go in and show, because they already did my survey prior to the video and pressing play. So I do that, and then at the end, because of how she does what she does, closing out, she goes into the head. You can't buy a pack of head for $177. Come on, guys. Y'all know right then and there when she says something like that, people looking like they feel shame. They like, man, let me just get this money. I can't play with this. She going in, and it's her, not me. It's not about me. And then I give this to my team. I want them to play the video. I want them to learn how to do it, because it's all about duplication. It's not about RayShawn. It's not about how I'm presenting. It's about duplication. So if I keep it simple, right? Because guess what they looking at? Whatever you did to them, they trying to see, is that something I can do? And they can meet up with a person, and she gonna love this, but I have a little handy dandy schedule, right? Have that with me, schedule the time, let them see it. They try to figure out this is something they can do. And if it's easy, and the guy at the end, he sat back and he said, this is simple. I said, isn't it though? For 177? I ain't have to do a three-way. A lot of times I don't have to do three-way. I have to be honest, because she closes it. Thanks, coach. She closes it. Like, I be like, man, is it that easy? Man, I'm telling you. So at the end, yellow sheet of paper that indicates it's something special. That's my application, to make sure they have it. I think that's about. What questions do you have? I can't say more than the fact that yeah, yellow sheet of paper. Yeah, that's the apps. My apps stand out. I make sure I make that. But if you have any questions, anything, I just keep it simple. I be myself. I talk about SIRS 365. Now, if I'm invited by somebody, I'm gonna edify that person too. Oh, you know, Corinne, he just got in and he's in position too. Because he hasn't really done that yet. I'm not telling no lies, all right? We ain't selling none of that, right? Be honest, if he just got in, he's in position to do these things. And he is running, right? And he is a runner. I love that. That's another video, man. I'm always learning from this lady. I don't care what y'all say. You got to go look at that one when she talking about hold the app. I actually put, man, I ain't going, y'all think I'm, what that joker say? That say hold. I put hold on there. Read that, because she told me how to hold a knot. Hold? What? You got to keep learning. Be a student of this industry, guys. Keep learning, keep sharing, and that's what I'm doing. People believe in you. They don't believe in the product. They believe in you. And if you are honest, open. I have one of my new people right here. He's standing by because I'm up here training him. He's brand new, just got in the business on Saturday. Come on over here. Look at it. Yeah, I think I can't like he's on the side right here. His name is Terry. He just joined as one of my runners from the gentleman that you saw. So he's standing by. I said I would give him some training, but I told him I was going on this live. I said, because this person is special. She's doing a whole lot for me. And I admire her a whole lot to pieces, right? And someone said, welcome. They said, welcome, right?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you tell your story,
He got his book open, tap. Huh?
That's what I'm talking about. When you, number 4, you do an intro and you tell stories. Can you walk through? Pretend he's sitting at the table. You're about to do the thing, and you're talking to, and welcome to the team. You're talking to him. Say what you say. You know what I mean? Give us what you say during that.
Okay. So it's important to know how to tell your story. So I'm tweaking it every now and then, because now you got it down to the hill. When you talk about everybody knowing your grandma, right? And y'all know my grandma, right? So for me, mine is the military. So I talk about the Dallas Cowboys. So I let everybody know up front, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys. So if I just met him and we talk and he's already introduced myself, I said, well, you know my name. Well, we probably already had, I know I have to have talked to him previously on the phone. Guess why? I don't just send out a text. We have a conversation. How many 3-ways did we do today? You can tell you.
We did about 6.
Nah, man, I'm looking at my schedule. It was about, he had a list of 8, and we reached out to 6 of his folks to do an invite, right? But I'm already having a conversation with the people before I meet up with them. So, yeah, I actually call them. So we doing 3-way calls right off the break. With my new folks, I wind up doing a 3-way call. So I've already had some type of conversation with them before we meet for that one-on-one. So at that point, the guy felt welcome. He gave me a big hug. I gave him a big hug because guess what? I knew it was his birthday. Thanks to you, Coach, you talk about gifts. So as I sat down with him with the one-on-one, it was like already feeling part of the family with the gentleman I was with. And I would say, well, you know, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I said I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. And I tell them a little bit about Coach. I said the owner of this company, he's a huge Steelers fan. But the way I was introduced, so I'm telling them how I was introduced to this business, I was going to my military and saying I used to have to travel with Uncle Sam, but now I have an opportunity to travel for myself, by myself. And by the way, I was introduced to this business by someone in the military. And the reason I know, because he branded himself. So it's important for you when you're looking at something to make sure you brand yourself and know that your friends and family should know that you're in the industry of travel. If he didn't do that, I would not be here today, because I randomly and bumped into him in the store. Now, because I knew I was going to see the Dallas Cowboys play the Skins, I asked for his link, and I said, hey, I knew I was going somewhere anyway. So when I saw this opportunity, I ain't do a one-on-one, I ain't do a presentation. I just saw the savings, and I said, Ray Charles can see this from the grave. It's a savings. So that normally gives them a little bit laughing. And I said, and I signed up. I said, you're going to hear a little bit about it, but it's called Platinum. I went right in and got it. And by the way, Dallas did lose when I went to the game. So then I backtrack and tell them a little bit about that. And I tell them what this business has done for me. And then I go ahead, right. Sharonica, I know where you at. And then I tell them a little bit more about myself and what the business has done for me and where I'm at. So I bring them up to speed to where I'm at today and what I'm going to do with this vehicle called Search 365, which is, I said, my mother didn't plan to fail, but she failed to plan. My mom is still working. And if y'all didn't know, I'm using this vehicle called Search 365 to help retire my mom. So even if you say yes or no today, is no problem, because your yes can bless someone and your no can close the door. But either way, I'm going to continue to share, because it's so many more people out here that want to see what you're about to see. Ooh, play. And I press play. And then now, before I press play, then that's when I edify. I said, now I'm about to introduce you to, and I go into Janice Parker. I said, this lady here, she's been out of Chesapeake Bay area in Virginia. I said, now let me tell you about her. Don't sleep on her, because she's gonna be doing you right. Let me tell you what she does, right? So I've told her about how she earned a 50,000 and how she's earned multiple 10,000 and how she even had someone earn that 50,000. So does she know a lot about this business? Yes. So it's 4 points you need to cover. Does she love to have fun? Yes. So I talk about her and I in Costa Rica, us in Brazil. That's showing the fun side, right? Then I say, does she love helping others? She had to, because someone on her team earned $50,000, right? So she's showing people how to do this. And so with those things that you cover, the research, am I missing one? So you want to cover those who think about it. That's the research. You want to cover those who are all about the money. So I tell her about the ring that she just earned, right? That's the money. Then I want to talk about the how she loves helping people. And then I feel like I'm missing one. Having fun. Fun, people, money, and research. Yeah, so those 4 things. You want to cover all 4 of those when you present anyone in any aspect. And she's done it, but make it more personable. So when you go into details about whatever those 4 things are, those are your audience and the personalities. And hopefully you got something from that person. If the money resonate, talk about the money. If helping others resonate because they into wanting to help others, talk about that. But whatever it is, from you meeting that one-on-one, you need to listen, right, to what it is, and then enlighten that person with highlighting those kind of things and give examples. Those stories are so true. You want to sell those stories on people who you know this person can mirror and know what kind of job they're doing. So that way you can also figure out if it's someone you know who's doing the same job or in the same position as him. The gentleman was Uber, so I talked about someone on my team doing Uber. He was like, yeah, bet. So with all that, it's about maybe 15 or 20 minutes of us having that dialogue before I press play. So unless time does not permit, but I try to come in, have a conversation, break the ice, feel real comfortable, give about a 15 to 20 minute intro of them, me, and before I press play. And I let them know they can see the hours on there. So, and as I talk about her, I just hit play. And then I sit there and I let her do what she do. And this is how I'm also learning. Every time she does a video, I hear something, I say, oh man, tonight. Because I knew I was coming out tonight. I was like, I'm going to make sure I highlight that part. Right? Let me say that part. So I talk about Nika. I never met Nika, but I can tell you that what she did before May 31st and how she did with her 3 when she traveled. Why? Because I'm a student of the business and I'm listening to those who have already given those stories. If you don't have a story, tell someone their story. Right? And after that, at the end, like I said, because of how she goes in, y'all really got to key in on what she says at the end. You don't even really sometimes need that third-party validation. It's something about one-on-one, and people feel more personable about that. So when I sit with them one-on-one, I sit next to them a lot of times, I'm listening and watching body language too, right? And you can see what resonates. He was taking notes and all that good stuff. So, and he said, can you pause that for a moment? So you telling me it does X, Y, Z? And I said, yes, it does. And he was talking about the reward credits. He asked me a question about that. And then we pressed play. And then he was laughing at what she was talking about. I laughed right along with her. Because she goes, you really got to listen to her, guys. So if you have any questions, anything, hey, this is one team, one dream. I'm open to answer any questions of yours about my one-on-ones, but I just make it real personal. I make it me, and they get to know me because people want to join not the business, but they want to join someone that they see winning and having fun, right? I mean, that's the way I see it. I don't know. How did you feel when you joined?
I felt good. I felt the opportunities that were presented to me inspired me to want to join. That's why I joined, and I went platinum because I was, I really want to accomplish what I set out to do, so I'm still excited, and I love the family atmosphere, I love the family atmosphere. I love the testimonies. Yeah. So I really, that's why I like going to the meetings, because I love hearing those testimonies and the atmosphere, that family unit.
He just joined Saturday. He went platinum after the Super Saturday. Actually, tell him you didn't want me to complete it. He was like, can we get started?
Right. I was ready to go.
I left during in the middle of the Super Saturday just to sign him up at the hotel at the computer. We sat at the computer.
That's right. Sure did.
And got him signed in platinum. And then we did his 3-way calls. And my 3-way calls are about inviting. And I use our tool to invite. So I actually make an event and I make it private. That's a little side note. I make it private for him and have it as a grand opening. So each person that I do use the 3-way calls, that's another class, another training. But I use our event and make a grand opening for each of his persons to say, yes, they're going to come or not. And then after that, we take it from there. What we have in the DC area, we have meetings and we have one-on-ones based upon what we do. And I do the if I, would you?
Come on.
If I, would you? If I extend this invitation to you, would you clear the date? Eric Warray, go pro. Too. So I use that as well. So did you hear me use that?
Yes.
He heard me. And I want them on the 3-way so they can what? Duplicate. He needs to hear. So every call, I made him call, and then I asked for their number, right? So you can make sure I'm getting their telephone numbers at the point. And that's when I do that list. So I probably have a list. And I put their names at the top of it. Do I have your list here? I sure do, somewhere. All right, there's Terry's list.
All right, now we're not using the prospect tracking sheet, are we? What?
Yes, that's exactly what we're using. So when I did the 3-way calls today for him, I was not with him. Every name he gave, I wrote. Now he gave me a name of he gave me 9 as he called, whatever, because we know the president George Bush funeral was today. So he actually said, can we do it today and talk to the people today, because he figured they should be home. Right? And so we had a 10:30 to 11:30. I mapped that part out, right? And then we went. I say, okay, give me a briefing before you make the call. And I'm writing on this sheet because I never got his. He just told me. And I don't write their number down unless I'm on the phone. That means I talk to them and I ask them for that number. How can I send you this personal invite through our Surge app? I need to send you your personal invitation to this private exclusive grand opening I'm having for him. And as they give me their number, then I text them that event that I made specifically just for him, personalized to him for a grand opening. But you know it ain't just for him, right? These meetings are for everybody. So the other gentleman, Kareem, hey, I made one specific for him, change it, switch it, and he wound up having 8. And one of those 8 was this gentleman right here who signed up platinum. All right. So I did the same thing to him to try to keep that simple. Keep the method of what I'm doing simple. And I write notes, as he can see, it's red, highlighted, who's coming out tonight, or who's coming out tomorrow night, because I gave them 2 dates that they can choose. You can come out tonight or tomorrow night. Which date is best for you if I invite you? Oh, tomorrow night, great. I need to send you a private, exclusive invite to that. What's your telephone number so I can text it to you? And he's like, hold up, didn't you call? I said, no, he called you. I need your number. Okay, great. Here it is. And they give me their number. I write it down. And then I write the date that they're going to have. And all those are 3-way calls. So either call back, whether or not they answer, we'll attend tonight, we'll attend Thursday night, or if I have to do a one-on-one. If I do a one-on-one, then I say, look, I see you pretty busy, but I really want to actually show this to you. If I schedule time just for you and I, one-on-one, would you think you can make time for an hour and a half for us to do that? Sure. All right, great. And I make sure it's within the next 3 days. I don't want them thinking next week sometime. So I kind of be specific about that time too. What time is it? Because I got to do your video in like 2 minutes, Coach.
Okay.
I got somebody.
Oh, well, listen,
I got somebody out of town.
Well, listen, you are amazing. And what we're going to do for our 10 o'clock presentation, we're going to play that video tonight at 10 o'clock.
I have a 10 o'clock with a young lady in Memphis, Tennessee on Zoom. And guess what I'm going to do? Press play.
Well, you are a rock star and you are in such great hands. Welcome to the team, but you are in some of the best hands in the world of network marketing, not just in Surge, guys. She is doing what it takes. She's putting in the work. She's organized. She's executing. She's doing everything, guys, that it takes. And I'm going to tell you what, this training right here, I'm downloading and uploading to Zoom. And I promise you, if you'll listen and apply, listen and apply, listen and apply, it'll be in the announcement section on our Facebook page. But guys, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to disband. Love you, RayShawn.
Bye, guys. Thanks,
bye,
Coach. JP. Got it.
So we can talk about
your video.
Okay. All right, baby. Bye-bye. Right. So
bye.
Guys, bye-bye. So I'm going to go ahead and close this because we have a presentation that starts now. I'm going to stop this recording and then I'm going to pull up that video and we're going to watch that video at 10 o'clock. How about that? All right, so here we